Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Flosstube number 22. My name is Beth and this is a channel where I talk mostly about cross stitch. But first, the best new thing of this week is that I treated myself to a new iPad. This has been a long time coming. I know I've been wanting this for at least a year, and finally I gave myself permission to give myself a little present, and I got one. This guy was the main reason why I wanted it. I love taking notes by hand, but I also love the ability to have them easily accessible to me at all times on different devices, be able to manipulate them digitally. So this is awesome for me. The other thing that's really cool is that if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I stitch almost exclusively from digital patterns. And I had been highlighting my digital patterns with this stylus. And it's not the most accurate stylus, and so sometimes it would skip, or it would be a little bit below the line or a little bit above, and it was not the best experience. This though is extremely accurate, which has just been a dream. I've literally had this iPad for 2 days and I am in love with it. So I've been playing around with note-taking apps and playing around with the PDF app that I have been using, exploring the possibility of other ones. So if you have an iPad with a pencil and you have any favorite apps, whether it's for cross-stitching or note-taking or whatever, put them in the comments below. Let me know. The only thing I don't do is art. I don't draw on this, but I would love to maybe do a little bit of, not designing, but manipulating of cross-stitch patterns and playing around in a design app as well. I think there is one that I've heard of that is pretty decent. Let me see if I can find it. Stitch Sketch is the one that I've heard of. That's not too bad. I haven't had a chance to play around with it on this iPad with the pencil, but I will definitely try that out. But anyway, this has been a very, very exciting day. It's like Christmas. It's like a late birthday present to myself. But that's been a joy. Absolute joy. All right, now to get into the actual stitching. I don't have any starts or complete finishes to show you. I do have a SAF, start and finish, but I can't show it to you yet. It's my smalls exchange for StitchCon. I don't think I have talked about that on this channel yet, but I think I just was worried that if I talked about it, it wouldn't be real. But I'm signed up to go to StitchCon second weekend. Athena and I are gonna go together, Athena from Stitching Goddess Designs. And I have thought long and hard, because I know it's a lot of people in one room, and that's, I want to be safe. I don't want to just, jump into the world of going and doing things without consideration. So I'm fully vaccinated, and StitchCon has said that everyone that is there will have to be masked. So that makes me feel better. So after a long, hard think, I decided that I felt comfortable enough to go to StitchCon. So I have, long story long, completed my smalls exchange piece for that, but I need to FFO it. I probably won't show it until after we go, but I'll take video of it before we leave and show what I've done. So that was fun. It was hard to pick what I was gonna do, but I'm happy with what I picked and happy with how it turned out. But so that was my only full finish, not fully finished, but project finish. of the last few weeks, but I do have a couple of page finishes, so I'll show those to you now. All right, the first project I'm gonna show you is Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 South called Fruits of Plenty. I'll put a picture somewhere of what that will look like completed. And I finished the February block. And the February block was dense, but I thoroughly enjoyed stitching it. So I am keeping pretty much up to date with my 2,000 stitches a month, which is keeping me pretty well on track for a part completed every 2 months. So I'm happy with that. And I've heard that the March block is pretty light stitching, so I have a feeling that I will be into the April block before, probably in, I don't know, maybe I'll get to it in June. And I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go in rows or, I mean, I'll definitely do the March block next. And then I'll go down and do the April block, which is right here. But then I might like go down this way. I'm not sure, I haven't done the math to see if the months will line up that way, but maybe I'll do like a diagonal page design. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that like the more time goes by, the further and further behind I am, which I shouldn't call it behind because like I'm intentionally behind. I'm not like trying to be caught up, but I see what everyone else is working on and I get jealous and I want to stitch that. So to think that like the later blocks, like I won't stitch on until next year, is a big bummer. So maybe I'll, you know, jump down and start stitching some of the later blocks this year and stitch some of the earlier blocks next year. Who knows? No rules, right? No rules in cross stitch. Okay, my next page finish is on Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And this project I started on September 23rd, 2019. And this project really stagnated because I was frustrated. I wasn't loving the fabric, I wasn't loving the threads, just like to work with, not how they were looking. But I am getting more comfortable with working with the variegated threads. I'm not as frustrated with the Valdani threads, the texture of them, as I was. I'm still kind of frustrated with the texture, but it's not as intense as it used to be. I also, the Valdani threads that I'm working in come in these spools, and I'm just definitely not loving that. So I'm thinking about ways to transfer the thread to a different method that isn't on the spools and easier to get to. But here's my page finish. So I've definitely extended out into the next page with the border here and with the border going down here, and like this part is underneath, but for the most part this is one page. There's like a little bit over here on the page I was on that I didn't do because most of the motif was on the next page. So again, I have absolutely no idea which way I'm gonna go. I think I'll probably go horizontally, but I go horizontally on all my projects, so maybe I'll go vertically. I don't know. I do have a counting mistake. In these acorns here, they're like 1 or 2 stitches too far inward, but I think it's fine. I just have to remember not to count off that so I don't have more errors. based on that. I think I need to, if I just keep counting off of other stuff over here, I'll be fine. So maybe I will work vertically because this is on my mind now. And if I don't like deal with this soon, I'm worried that I'll forget about it and then make a much bigger mistake. So that's where I am on that one. This project, I'll talk about my current 25/7 project in a second, but this project would make a really good 25/7 project in the future. Just because it's really fiddly and it's got like a lot of like a few stitches over here, a few stitches over there. I think that's pretty common with Rosewood Manor. And so that kind of project, for me at least, I burn out on pretty fast. And so it would make a good project to, you know, work on just a little bit at a time to get through it. So talking about 25/7, and for those who may not be familiar, 25/7 is a challenge. I'm not like in the Facebook group, but there is one to stitch on the same project for 25 minutes every day. And so I started doing that at the beginning of April, and I'm working on my piano project. So let me show you a picture first of what that will look like complete. And I have not worked on this project every single day of April, but like the majority of the days of April. So I'm really proud of that, and I think the progress is showing. It's maybe not as fast as I would want because 25 minutes really does fly by, especially with confetti. But this is more progress than I've had in many, many, many months on this project, so I'm pleased regardless. So let me quick throw up a picture of where it was at the beginning of April. And here it is now. I am so thrilled. I love looking at this project from like further away because the confetti all just blends together and it looks amazing. So really what I've been spending time on is bringing this black down and bringing this confetti down. I also worked in my parked threads across the top because I'm not parking with Pattern Keeper. I know this is a swirl, but the fact that Pattern Keeper is not available on iOS is like something I had come to terms with. I bought a different tablet to work on Pattern Keeper with, and I was just being okay with it. And then I got this new iPad with the pencil, and the experience has been so awesome working on my digital patterns that now working from Pattern Keeper on my other tablet is just like so sad. So the designers of Pattern Keeper work so hard, and they have created such a wonderful experience for us. And I know that I think Pattern Keeper is technically still in beta. So I know that there is much more to go on developing it. And I'm so thankful that they aren't waiting for a perfect product to let us have at it. And I know how difficult it is to build apps that are cross-platform. Apple really doesn't make it simple. So I get it. There's lots of hurdles. I'm not like trying to be judgy on them. I'm just like begging and pleading. Just basically, I will be the happiest camper as soon as it's available on iOS. The happiest camper. Anyway, back to this. I'm not parking with Pattern Keeper anymore. So I worked in all the park threads. So that's where you're getting some of the definition of the keys. And now I'm mostly working this way. The black sort of like does like a trapezoid like this. So I'll probably Ooh, I did not love that. I don't know if you guys all saw my screensaver. I thought I had my computer totally asleep. Let's fix that. Sorry about that. Anyway, so the black sort of comes down in a trapezoid here. So I'm gonna keep going on that and the confetti that's in that area. And then I will probably work my way that way. But yeah, loving this and loving working on this every day. And it's not a burden. I was worried it was gonna be a burden to work on this every day, and it's really not. And it's small, and I can like see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though I'm only halfway done, which I hit the halfway point. I posted on Instagram about it. But in case you missed it, I got halfway. I'm so happy about that. I've already got my eyes on 3/4. I know it'll be a while still, but I'm enjoying that one. All right, next we've got more full coverage here. This is Harry Potter Covers Collage by Fox and Teacup. I am working on this Sorcerer's Stone page here, and I am making tons of progress. This is just like blobs and blobs and blobs of brown. This is brown forever. But I think it's looking really cool. This is basically like the arch of that's on the cover, the arch of Hogwarts. And so that's what I'm building here with all the brown. Something interesting that I discovered while working on this page is that this page and the one above, that I didn't notice this on the one above, but I ran out of 2 different colors while I was working on this. So I went and I bought them at Michael's, and when I put them down on the counter to purchase them, I was like, wait a minute, did I pick up 2 of the same color? And so I picked them back up off the counter and I checked the numbers, and they were different. And so I was like, huh, wow, even right next to each other, they look the same. You know, that's what I was thinking at the time, that's what makes the confetti work, because it all blends together, and the ones that are like so close end up like creating that gradient that is needed for all the texturing done in full coverage. But then I got them home and I was really looking at them and I was like, no, these are like the same. So I looked it up, and the numbers are 407 and 3773, I think. And turns out 3773 is discontinued, and 407 was the replacement. Like 407 is the dupe for it. So now you can still buy 3773, but it's just 407. And I think DMC does that from time to time. I think 806 or something has a similar situation where that one doesn't even exist anymore, and it's like some 37 number. Anyway, so this has lost a small amount of definition because those 2 symbols are supposed to be different colors and they are stitched as the same color. I don't think it's a catastrophe, because like I didn't notice a problem until I realized that I was stitching the same color for 2 symbols. But like just looking at it before that, I didn't really notice that there was a problem. So I think I'm just gonna keep going and just assume that it's fine. And I was trying to figure out like how long ago this changed, because I didn't like buy all the thread I would need for this entire project all at once. So I was worried that it changed like recently and that I had stitched the first page with different symbols and then this one with two symbols the same. But it looks like it's been this way for a while, and I am consistent through the whole project, so that's not a worry. So I'll probably send Fox and Teacup a little message just to let them know that that's the case, but I think that I'm fine to just continue as is. The only bummer is that there's no easy way like to combine those symbols like I can't select 2 symbols at once in Pattern Keeper, and I don't want to get confused. So I am still stitching those symbols separately, which is kind of obnoxious, but not the end of the world. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think this might be the bottom of the page, but I still have like a little bit of chamber included in this page too. So this page is still gonna be a little while. Probably another 2 months before I complete this page is my guess. All right, I'm probably cutting into the video that you've already been watching because this is me from earlier in the day when my boyfriend is at work. He works from home most of the time, but occasionally he has to go into work, and I use that opportunity to do things related to this project. So here is my current progress, and this is gonna be a gift for my boyfriend, which is why I try to work on it and talk about it when he's not home, which during the pandemic is very difficult because we're both home all the time. But I have made good progress on this. I have something in my eye. That's wonderful. I have made good progress on this. He went on a work trip a couple of weeks ago, his first one in a long time because of the pandemic, obviously. And I got my vaccine while he was gone, my second dose. So I didn't really get a chance to work on this a lot because I was feeling pretty sick from the vaccine. But I did put in a ton of work the night before I got my vaccine while he was away. I put in like, I don't know, 6 hours on this project. But 6 hours didn't even get me, it got me maybe 2 blocks done. This project is such a beast. Let me show you the blocks that I worked on specifically. Which ones did I work on? I worked on this one and this one. And then in other free moments that I had available, I worked on this one. And this one has been my least favorite block, I think, so far. Sorry, my screensaver, I think, is making the light change weird. I did not enjoy this block. I don't know why. I had a really hard time finding a path to take, and so it just wasn't really fun for me, but I think it looks cool. This one is super dense, but was actually really fun. As you can see on the back, I just went like up and down and back and forth and no big deal. Let me show my backs actually. So this is what my backs look like. And because I am stitching black thread on white fabric, I try to be really, really careful where I carry my thread because it can be extremely visible. I think the reason why I didn't like working on this one is tacking my thread behind these stitches was really difficult in a way that like wasn't gonna be visible. On like this one, for example, because I was going border to border a lot, I was able to tack along the border, which was really nice. And it's so dense back here that there were lots of opportunities for tacking. But like these ones that are much lighter in the back, there's just not as many opportunities for tacking the thread. So I struggled a little bit. So there's my progress. Let's see, how many have I done so far? I've done, and when this year started, I hadn't done a single block yet. I did just like outlining and stuff and the border. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. So 9 blocks so far this year. We're finishing April, which means I should have 12 blocks, and I only have 9. So that's how behind I am from my goals. And let me just say, while we continue to both work from home and both be home a lot and not, you know, he's not traveling very much, and this is really hard to find time to work on it when he isn't around. And even like, you know, if he's just like home and we're doing our own separate things, like we'll come in and say hi to each other. And so I don't really want to be working on this when he's home and could just, you know, come in and say hi to me. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. I'm wondering if maybe my goal of having all of the blocks done by the end of the year is a little too lofty, which means that instead of being a birthday present for next year, this would have to be a Christmas present for next year. Or maybe like an anniversary present. Our anniversary is in November and it's our 10-year anniversary. It's not like the worst idea. But yeah, I think I'm gonna relax on my goals on this just a little bit, because that like 6 hours that I spent stitching on this the other day, man, my screensaver must be totally annoying you. Changing all over my face. Anyway, I like was not enjoying stitching on this during the 6 hours that I stitched on it while he was away, because it felt like an obligation. Like I couldn't stitch on anything else. I had to stitch on this because he was gone and I had to use the opportunity. And then when I wasn't feeling well after my vaccine, I was like, oh, I'm wasting such an opportunity to be stitching on this while he's gone. You know, while he's out today, I'm like, I could be stitching on this. I have work to do. I need to film a video. But like maybe I should just be stitching on this because he's gone for an hour. And that doesn't feel nice. I don't want to hate working on this, because this is going to take me a zillion hours to stitch. I mean, look at this thing. In the grand scheme of things, I still have a lot to go. So I'm still going to focus on this. I'm still going to try and get done as much as I can get done, but I am not going to panic myself about it. I will probably bring this with me on trips that I'm going on that he's not going on, or I'll pull this out while he's away. But like, he's gonna be gone camping with his friends during Frogwarts. And I wanna like be able to do Frogwarts and enjoy Frogwarts and stitch on what I wanna stitch on during Frogwarts and not feel like I have to be stitching on this because he's gone. Does that make sense? Anyway, I've rambled enough on this. As I mentioned, I still have work to do before I can film the rest of this video. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll go back to the rest of the video in a little bit. All right, next we have a couple of things that I worked on for just one day. And I can't, for some reason this project is stuck in the bag. Here we go. So on my birthday, I stitched on 100 owls, which I'll put a picture of what that will look like. 100 owls is what I stitch on the 14th of every month, because Athena and I both work on this project and our birthdays are both on the 14th of different months. So every 14th of the month we pull this out to work on, which anyone is welcome to join us for. The more the merrier, of course. So on my birthday this month, I pulled this out to work on, and I put in this little motif here, and this little flower, or this little leaves down here, and this little owl guy here. So I now have 4 owls out of 100 done. So because I only work on this project one day per month, usually, this is gonna be slow going. But I'm sure maybe next year I'll get to the point where I could work on this more consistently. I mean, not more consistently, because I'm pretty consistent, but like in a more focused way. All right, next, keeping on the theme of birds. I like to stitch on a Christmas project every 25th of the month. So lately, for the last 2 months, I've been working on this project, which I bought for Stitch Asia, because the designer of Cottage Garden Samplings, is Asian. So this is Peace on Earth from Cottage Garden Samplings. And there is my progress. I finished up this snowflake and then I put in some branches and pine needles. I love this. I think it's amazing. I love the fabric I picked. I just think it's amazing. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm really, really, really sad that I still can't find the threads for finishing out the bird. I need Gentle Art Cranberry and Gentle Art Hollyberry, and both of those seem to be sold out, back ordered, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna keep going on all the things on this pattern that don't need those colors, and then when I run into needing those colors, then I'll just move on to a different project for my Christmas stitching, because I really think that stitching in those colors is gonna be valuable because like you want the different color reds to work together. So I think it'll be worth it to wait. I just have to be patient, which I'm not good at. I have an alert set on 1-2-3 Stitch, so hopefully I'll get notified when those colors become available. And my final whip that I have to show you, this is another one that I work on 1 day a month. I work on this on the 20th of every month. This is Pandemic 2020 sampler by Sarcy Girl. And that's why I work on it on the 20th of the month. So this is my progress. I worked on bringing the border down here and across up here. So I think I'm going to be working on border for a while. These flowers are quite dense. They look really small because this is on 40 count, but yeah, there's a lot of stitching in there. But I think they look amazing. So I absolutely adore this project. I'm also loving this fabric choice and how the colors are turning out on it. Both of these projects, the Peace on Earth and Pandemic, I am sad to put them away at the end of the day that I stitch on them. I'm just realizing I didn't mention Peace on Earth. Let me bring that back out. I'm only stitching half of this pattern. I forgot to say that. This pattern, like going over this direction, there's like a house and words that say Peace on Earth, and I just didn't want to do that. So I'm not. So I just cut the pattern right down the middle of this snowflake and am only stitching the right half of it. So there's that. All right, those are all my whips, but I have like a bunch of haul. I mean, ow, just knocked my hand on my desk. Would it be a video of mine if I didn't have at least half an hour of haul to show you? I don't think so. Oh man, all right, let me go collect it all and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have quite a bit of haul. Let's start off with gifts that some, stitchy kindness that I got. So first, Laura and Katie of the Black Needle Society and Love You More Studio and the Pattern Queens, all the things. They went on a road trip to like a bazillion different cross stitch shops, and along the way they picked up a few things for some friends of theirs, and so they picked up a couple of things for me, which was so kind of them. I so appreciate that they thought of me. So they know how excited I get when I find Hanukkah patterns. And so they found me a Hanukkah pattern, and they were really excited to find out that I did not have this one. So no, I did not have this one, and I am so excited. So it's called Hanukkah Time by Ezia Gladstone. It looks like they design under New York Dreamer. I don't know if you guys heard that. Was that my camera that beeped? I don't know. Anyway, New York Dreamer. And it's got some Kreinik in it, which is gonna be fun. I might try and replace that with some Petite Treasure braid just for like how much is in there. But yeah, really, really excited to stitch that. Next, they picked out for me some thread jewelry, which for someone who did not use thread jewelry like 2 months ago, I have acquired quite a bit. It's really not something that I'm like actively acquiring. I just have received it in various ways, and I think it's fun. So they got me this from My Big Toe, and it's got owls and a little coffee cup. So that was super cute. Thank you so much for that. And finally, this was so ridiculously thoughtful. I was talking to them recently about how I have a hard time joining fabric clubs because I stitch on lots of different kinds of fabric. And when you join a fabric club, you have to choose what count fabric you want, what kind of fabric you want. And I just I don't know, I like all of them. And I use all of them in lots of different situations. So at one of the shops, they found one of those like, you know, ornament cut or scrap cut bins, and they just like pulled a bunch for me. So I have no idea what kinds of fabric these are or where they came from or what the counts are, but they just like grabbed me a bunch of different things, which is awesome. So this is like, I don't know, like an oatmeal lamb's wool type color. This is a linen, probably a 28 count. Then they grabbed me some of the like pre-gridded fabric, which I've never tried before and I think is so cool. I'd love to find a full coverage ornament to put on here, and I've been really wanting to try out this fabric for my next full coverage piece, so this will be an awesome opportunity to try it out. Then this like random like bookmark size gray linen. That one's probably a 28 too. I'm guessing this is a 25, but I don't know. Then this beautiful like sage color, but it's like a weird scrap size. I have no idea what to put on this. Then we've got, oh, it looks like they got these pieces of fabric at Cecilia's maybe, because this, it says Cecilia's on top. But this is a linen. This may be a like 36 maybe. And this looks like an Aida, a small Aida. This might even be like a 20 count. And then more Aida. This one could be like a 16 count. And we've got like a big, long, weirdly shaped piece of light blue Aida. This looks like it could also be maybe 16 count or 18 count. And then some more Aida. I really like this color. This looks like it could also be 16 count. And this is so soft. This is more Aida. This looks like the same. These look like the same. Or maybe slightly different colors. No, they look like the same. So, wow. So cool. Thank you so much. Some of these are I'll have to be creative about what I'll be able to fit on them. But some of those are really decent sizes, so I'm super excited about that. All right, next, as I mentioned, my birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and so I was sent some things for my birthday, which is so sweet. I talked about this on my Instagram story, but I'm gonna show it here as well. Athena sent me just the sweetest gift. So she found this little owl and it's stuffed very firmly. I would say like maybe with walnut shells or something. Very, very firmly. He's got googly eyes and he's so cute and he's got like head tufts and I'm obsessed with him. This would have been an awesome present in and of itself, but she went further. She did not stop there. She took this owl to Universal Studios, which is a place we both love, and took pictures with it in the park and made a book and sent it to me. I believe her son named the owl Asta, so that's cool. And her husband helped her take a bunch of these pictures and was really excited about taking them. So I cannot get over how cool this is, how sweet and thoughtful, and I cannot wait until took a picture with a goblin. And they have funny captions too. That one says, "He was a cranky goblin." I hope that one day when it's safe, we'll be able to go to the park together. She's been going to the park already. And she says that it's been pretty safe and good. I've been a little bit nervous with the crowds and stuff, but now it's about to be the summer and it's gonna be ridiculously hot there. So we'll see when I feel like is the right time to go. But I'm hoping like 2021 at least, right? Sometime in the fall or winter this year would be nice. But anyway, thank you, Athena, for that. And then Connie from Count Twice, Stitch Once sent me this adorable snail card. So cute. Just so sweet. And she made me this beaded owl. I think it's meant to be a scissor fob. I don't know if I'm gonna use it as a scissor fob because it's too pretty for that. Like, I'm gonna need to hang it in my office. But this must have taken her a gajillion hours to do. Just so sweet of her. I love it so much. All right, then from my best friend, I received 2 needle minders, and it was so funny because when she gave them to me, she's like, "I don't know if you already have these." And I opened them and I was like, well, I do already have them, kind of. But honestly, these are better than the ones that I already have. So I got a Stitch and Flick, but the one that I have already is red. And my house is Hufflepuff. So now I have a Hufflepuff one, and that's far superior to the one I already had. Also, she got me this one, which I see this all over the place from a bunch of different shops, so I assume these are like readily available somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, like a bunch of shops have these. But it says School of Wizardry and Stitchcraft, and then the crest has different like Stitch stuff in there, which is so great. So I did already have one. It looks a little bit different. So like, I don't know if multiple people are making them or like what is going on, but this one, the magnet, the one that I already had, is like wimpy, and I almost never use it because I can barely get my needle to stick to it. This one is like my needle from halfway across the room is attracted to this. So, I mean, I have my Snag Nabbit here as an example. So this is the old one, and it's like barely hanging on. And the new one, Snag Nabbit, is like, hell yeah, I want to be on this party. So I was not upset. See? I'm just attracting my multiple needle minders to each other. I was not upset to receive duplicates of those. All right, those are all the gifts that I got. Let's move on to things that I bought. First, we have fabric clubs. I'm sorry, floss clubs. So this is my nest egg from 3 Owl Threads. I get Gentle Art. So I got Shutter Green, Schoolhouse Red, Sarsaparilla, Slate, Shaker White, Spring Grass, Something Blue, which this is barely blue. Ooh, what happened to my focus? There we go. This is like barely blue at all. Poinsettia, which is unfortunately not one of the colors that I'm missing for my Christmas piece. This, by the way, is like a bright pink. Why is this called poinsettia? Are there pink poinsettias? I think of red and white when I think of poinsettias. Silver Fern. This one's pretty. This is mostly green, but has a little bit of blue in it too. And Old Covered Bridge. This one has about 12 colors in it. Can you see that? Yeah. This has like a bunch of stuff going on. And then I get, in the Color and Cotton Floss Club, I get Primitive Neutral, and I get All Colors, 3 of each. So I got Ivy. This is from the Primitive Neutrals. I got Ivy, Raw Linen, and Succulent. This one has quite the variegation happening in it. And then from All Colors, I got, it's funny, these are pretty prim too. I got Brown Sugar in 2 limited edition colors. And then, not from Floss Clubs, but just a couple of things that I needed. I got some Gentle Art Ginger Snap for Frogwarts, and I got some Classic Colorworks Hickory Sticks. I need this for After the Roses by Ink Circles. This was the only one that I couldn't find for that project, so now I have it. All right, now let's talk about patterns and kits. I purchased 2 digital patterns, both from Dirty Cuss Stitch. So I can't remember if any of these have swears, but they might, so just be prepared for that. But so these are the 2 patterns that I got. Very different from each other. One of them pretty serious, the other one mostly funny. But I love them both. And I've bought from that shop before, and when I saw the System is Broken one, I was like, yep, I need that. And what else can I buy from this shop? Next, I bought a few kits. I don't know, I was feeling like buying stuff. I needed a couple of things from 123 Stitch, and I didn't want to like buy one skein of floss by itself, so I bought some other stuff to go along with it. So I bought a little Hanukkah Mill Hill, and this one is on fabric actually, which is included. I've never done a fabric Mill Hill before, although I do have a Mill Hill that has perforated paper that I think I might switch and do on fabric. But anyway, then we've got Chalkboard Christmas. We have Moonlit Owl. I love the colors of this one. And the feather tufts on his head are awesome. And then I got this Buttons and Beads crab because I am from Maryland and the blue crab is our state animal. State? I don't know. Anyway, blue crabs are a Maryland thing. I don't eat crabs. I don't eat seafood, but I think they look cool. I ended up getting this because Lara and Katie went to a shop in Ocean City, Maryland, and I think they both got crab patterns. I think they were both blue crab patterns, and I didn't love enough the ones that they got to also get those, but I'd had this one on my wish list for a while, and I was like, they're enabling me in a strange way, so I decided to get that for myself. And finally, I got two kits that are kind of different from anything I've ever done before. But these are Hanukkah sweaters, and they come with the wooden sweater with all the holes in it. And they both come with the thread that you need. The two, I think it's just three colors. Yeah, they each have 3 colors. No, this one has 4 colors. This one has 3 colors, I think. But it looks like it comes with all the colors of floss, and it comes with a pre-cut thing to put on the back, which is really cool, and the string that you need to hang it. Like, it comes with a needle. It comes with everything, and it looks like instructions. I haven't opened it up and read the instructions yet, but these are so cool. So cool. So I'll probably stitch one for myself and one as a gift for my friend. This comes from Canadian Stitchery. So really well made kits, not too expensive, and I'm very excited about them. On the Hanukkah theme, I don't know. I guess I was in a Hanukkah mood, you guys. I found these, and at first I thought they were patterns, and then when they weren't, I was like, oh man, I want to stitch these for myself, but I love them so much that I just decided to buy the finished objects. They weren't too expensive. I also thought this was one ornament, but it's 2. So there's this one. But the one that really caught my eye was this one. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will put on the screen what this means in English. And I may even like put these together so that it's one ornament and like redo the hanger. But I just really love the typography of this one, and I think it's really cute. I bought these from, I believe it was Becky Greenberg from Becky Boo Stitches. I'm pretty sure. If not, I'll put it on the screen. So very excited about that. And finally, I purchased from my friend Denise that I buy a zillion cross stitch bags from. I mean, you can use these bags for whatever you want, but I use them for cross stitch mostly. And this one is very special because it is of a character from Critical Role, which is a Dungeons and Dragons show on YouTube. And she painted one of the characters, and so I got it on a bag. This is Molly Mock, and he's fantastic, and just like the depth that comes through on this bag is so awesome. I just think he's really cool. So I actually have some Dungeons and Dragons patterns, so I think I need to get one started so it can live in this bag, and then I'll just always be stitching something D&D related. One other bit of haul. This sort of ekes into plans, but I'll show it to you now anyway. I purchased some more silk from Almond M&Ms. I mentioned, I think last video or the video before, when I started Blackbird using the color Raven from Almond M&Ms. I was worried that I was going to be cutting it close with the amount that I had with just one skein, so I ended up buying a second one because I also had to purchase more of this color. This is Tantalizing Teal, so I bought 2 more skeins of it because I'm going to stitch the Ink Circles Half the Fun. I'll put a picture of that here. I don't have it nearby to show you, but I'm gonna stitch it on this piece of fabric by Fortnite Fabrics. This is a 40 count, and this color. How good is that gonna look? Oh, I can't wait. So I think I probably only needed like 2 and a little bit skeins. But so I have 3, so I don't have to stress about it. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to stitch this. I am planning to start it on the plane, if I can manage it with the 40 count, to visit my parents in just like a week and a half or 2 weeks. My camera did it again, or is that my computer? What is making that sound? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to visit my parents, and I thought it would be fun to work on this piece like while traveling. So that's what I'm gonna do. Can't wait for that. All right, I now have, I think that was all of my haul. Yeah, all my haul. So I'm gonna show you some pins now. The pins are gonna be a lot, for many reasons. This week I just have a crap ton of pins that I've accumulated to show you, but what I've been doing is posting in the description below links to different points throughout the video. So if you're not interested in looking at my pins, you will not offend me. Just go ahead and click to the next section, which will be plans. So I'm gonna collect those and then I'll show them to you. Having all these pins laid out in front of me is a laughable number. So please bear with me. Please don't judge me. These bring me so much joy. Okay, part of the reason why I have so much pin haul is because I attended an event on an app called Pop Shop Live, where a bunch of pin makers that I follow were all selling things. And so things were discounted. They had things that were limited edition that they had like a few extra of that they were selling. And so this was like a buy. And the way that Pop Shop Live works is that you pay for things individually, but then it combines shipping from one maker. So you could buy 8 individual pins from a maker, buy like buy each pin individually as it comes up so that, you know, it doesn't sell out. They'll like put it up and you click buy and then it puts it in your account. And then at the end, it'll just like combine all your shipping from one maker, which is awesome and very dangerous. So, but I got the opportunity to get some things that I had been wanting and some things that like weren't even available regularly. So not all the pins that I'm showing you came from Pop Shop, but like a bunch of them. So I'm gonna start with Harry Potter pins first, and then we'll do non-Harry Potter pins after that. This is why I had to expand my pin board. I mean, not this specifically, but like this trend is why. Okay, so I did most of my Harry Potter purchasing from Witherwings Wizarding Wares. And I've been wanting this set for a while. So I pulled the trigger on that. How cool is that? This is based on the submissions from the Triwizard Tournament from the movie, what all the paper looked like. I don't have anywhere to put these after I talk about them. Okay. Then I picked up this one that I've been wanting for a long time. This is a B grade pin, which means that it's not like perfect quality. I think probably there are a couple of bubbles in the clear part, but you can barely see them. So this is, it says Wizarding Wireless Network. And this pin is especially fun for me because I used to be on a Harry Potter podcast called Alohomora. And so the wireless network is always a little fun treat for me. Next, I got one that I somehow already had. This was an accident. But I got this Ministry of Magic memo. I have not really done any like pin trading. There's a big community around that. And I haven't really done that. But I'm starting to dip my toe into that a little bit. I have one like pending trade that is, you know, set based on shipping of different things. But so we'll see how it goes. And I have a couple of other things that I would be willing to trade. So I'm gonna start maybe a separate pin board of things that I would be willing to trade. And see where that takes me. I'm not gonna like go crazy with it. I'm not gonna like buy things specifically to trade them away. I don't think, except for the one I'm holding right now. That's not the plan. The plan is that, you know, I will have a couple of things that I'd be willing to trade. Most of the pins I buy will be for me to keep. But so the one exception to that is this one. And this pin came up in her shop and I was like, oh man, I've been wanting this pin. It's Moaning Myrtle and it says, "You're welcome to share my toilet." And she sinks down into the toilet. So I think moving pins are really fun. So I got this one. And then after I'd already bought this one, then she said, okay, I also have these. These are like defective pins. She got some from the manufacturer where like the sliding part was broken. And so she like affixed them so that they just stayed in the up position. So this one doesn't slide, even though it technically has the sliding mechanism in the back. And I just kind of think I like this better, that you can see her, because on my pin board, you won't be able to see her in this one. And so, because this one is technically the original design, the not defective design, I will probably put this on my trade board, because I don't need two of them. But so I did not buy this, I didn't buy it specifically to trade, but I did buy this one with the intention to trade this one. Oh man. All right. Next I got the Bobaton's crest. This one is very intricate and cool. I got the Salazar Slytherin from the Chamber of Secrets. I got this one. So there were a series of Gryffindor portraits. There was the Fat Lady, there was Sir Cadogan, and then there was this one. The slash portrait that Sirius as the dog destroyed. And I really wanted this one and Sir Cadogan. But they were only available in like blind bags. And so you were only guaranteed to get specific ones if you bought one of the ones that came with all three. But that was really expensive, and they might have even been sold out by the time I tried to buy one. So I bought a pack of 2 and ended up getting the Fat Lady and Sir Cadogan, but I really, really wanted this one. So I'm gonna keep this one, and then the Fat Lady, which is the one that I like the least, is gonna go into my trader pile. Next, I'm gonna have to take this one off the... Oh, actually, let me show you these first. So I got 2 more passwords that go along with the portraits. So I got Pig Snout and Caput Draconis. What is the one that I got? I got Fairy Lights and Mimbless Mimbletonia originally in the set that I got. I think it was just those 2. Okay, so this one is a spinning pin, which is kind of tricky because when it's on my pin board, I can only pick one side. But this is Celestina Warbeck. It's a Celestina Warbeck poster. And it's got the Wizarding Wireless logo right here on the top, which is a cool detail. So this one says, the Wizarding Wireless Network presents the Singing Sorceress Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees. And then on the other side, it has the Singing Sorceress Celestina Warbeck's nothing, what does it say? I think it says Nothing Like a Holiday Spell, Wizarding Wireless Network. So maybe what I'll do is I'll display this one most of the year, and then during Christmas time, I'll spin it around and display that side. But I am a huge Celestina Warbeck fan. I love her so much, as you can tell from the Celestina poster that I have on my wall. All right, and the last one that I got from Withered Wings is this one. This is Amortentia. This is in the series of pins from the Department of Mysteries. So far I've gotten Thought and Death. And there was also Time, and I missed that drop. That's the one that I'm trying to trade something else to get. So that's in the works. Hopefully I can get that one. But I got Amortentia in the meantime, so that's very cool. All right, moving on to another maker from Sunset Road Co. I got this Honeyduke's Candy. I got this Pygmy Puff Trio that has like the opal like glittery fill. So cute. And I got Chief Warlock of the Wizengamot. Oh no! There we go. I think that's my computer that's making that sound. My computer setup has been quite the nightmare lately. In the process of being fixed. All right, next, these 2 I bought from somebody who was selling them. So I don't know the maker on this one, but it's a Deluminator, and it says happiness can be found in the darkest of times. which is a movie quote, but I still like it. And this one came from Maddie Magic, and it's a harp with the Sorcerer's Stone above it. From one of my favorite pin makers, Muggleborn Sisters, I got a greenhouse pin. Oh, sorry, a greenhouse key. That's what I meant to say. It's a pin of a greenhouse key. I got a Hogsmeade Station pin, and this has a little spinner in it behind it, so I can change how much time until the train. And this reminds me so much of the park. And then lastly from them, the pin community is doing like a huge collaboration on pins styled for Bill and Flair's wedding. So somebody like created a color scheme, and then a bunch of designers made pins with this color scheme for themed around Bill and Flair's wedding. So I got this one. So the color scheme was like this teal color and like the purple that you see in the stars and swirls and stuff. So I just thought this pin was so cute. And it says over on the chocolate frog here, it says Bill and Flair, August 1st, 1997. So that was super cute. All right, then from Magic Within Pins, I got a set of 3 little tickets. One for the night bus, one for Florian Fortescue's ice cream, and one for the Triwizard Tournament, third task. The night bus one says, all destinations, nothing underwater, valid for a single journey. And the Florian Fortescue one says the first annual Florian Fortescue Ice Cream Social. And then the Triwizard Tournament one says, third task, Hogwarts Quidditch Pitch. So I thought those were really cute. And then finally, from Laser Brain Patch Co., I got a set of beans with this really pretty opalescent swirl in them. So I got pink, teal, this like peachy orange. These all like came in a set together. Purple and pink. And then also from her, I got this keychain that I will probably just put on my Harry Potter shelf, but it's a shaker keychain, so the beans inside move around. So that's really cool. All right, those were all my Harry Potter pins. Let's move on to the non-Harry Potter pins. Also from Laserbrain, during the Pop Shop Live event, she had some free pins available, so I picked out one of them. So I just got this mandala. Sunset Road Co., who did the Pygmy Puffs, they also had a free pin choice. So I got this like gray opalescent or pearlescent rabbit. Then a birthday present from my parents. I got this little Thanks Science vaccine pin. And my parents are very lucky because I have a lot of pins from Descent Pin, this maker. And I even have one of their vaccine ones, but I didn't have this one. So very lucky. This one also came from the Pop Shop event. This one is by the designer Ectogasm. And this says, I have lived 1,000 lives. It's a stack of books. Then, also from the Pop Shop event, this one I think came from a shop of that like had a bunch of pins from a bunch of places that they were selling. I don't think they might have been all Disney pins. I don't know. I didn't know this shop before. But so this is an official Disney pin. It was limited edition, looks like. And And so I got this Incredibles pin, and the like glitter in her hand is so cool. So I really like that. Also from the Pop Shop event. This pin, so ridiculous. So this pin designer makes little like gnomes that are based off of like D&D or like fantasy things. And some of them are riding dinosaurs. And then there was this one that just was so cool that I couldn't resist it, but it is completely ridiculous. We have 2 gnomes riding a T-Rex. But this pin, look at my face in this pin. Let's like compare. Let's compare the size. Oh my god. Even like, okay, this pin is really big, but even like compare this and this one's still bigger. I can't believe I bought this pin. It's so big. I love it. It has 4 pin stocks on the back, so that's how you know it's big. All right, next, from the Pop Shop event, I got this Never Give Up, Never Surrender from that same shop. Actually, this shop is the Pink Samurai. I got this Never Give Up, Never Surrender, which if you don't know, this is from Galaxy Quest, which is a fantastic movie. It was the movie I watched on the day that Alan Rickman died, because I wanted to celebrate his life with something other than Harry Potter. Not that there's anything wrong with Harry Potter. He's a fabulous role in Harry Potter. I just wanted him to be remembered for more than just that. All right. Next from the Pop Shop event, I got a couple of stickers. This one came from Laser Brain Patch Co., where the beans came from, and it was a very, very shiny Dole Whip, because Dole Whip is the best. And then from Sunset Road Co., that had the Pygmy Puffs, I got this gigantic Grinch Hollow sticker. Huge. Like, around the same size as the T-Rex. I have a couple more Disney pins. The person who runs the Wizarding Wares shop, her shop, she also collects Disney pins. She's a big Disney fan. And so she had some pins that I think these are official Disney pins. She had some pins that she was, I can't tell if they're official or not. But she had some pins that she was getting rid of on her like second account. So I purchased those from her. So I got this little guy from The Little Mermaid. I love him. And then we have this guy from Onward, which was a fantastic movie. Really hits the D&D themes hard. And on the theme of Dungeons and Dragons, for my birthday, I got a couple of D&D themed pins. So from a friend of mine, I got these pins from Doy's Demos. I think that's the name of the shop, Doy's Demos. And so these are stacking pins. So I think this one goes on top, and yeah, this one goes on top. This one represents the Eladrin race, which is the race of it's a race of elves, which is the race of my character that I play in our campaign. And then my Eladrin is a bard. So I got the bard pin. And then just this little banner that goes with it. So I think it's supposed to stack like this. I think that's how it goes. Very cool idea. I love that. And I've seen lots of pins for classes. So I've seen lots of Bard pins, but I've never seen an Eladrin pin. So that was really, really cool. And then from a different friend, from Natural Defenses, I got this Loot of the Flowering Field pin. This is the pin. It came with like some info about it. This elegant lute is inlaid with gold and bronze tulips and tuned to eternal perfection. You gain a +2 bonus to spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your spells while using this instrument as a spellcasting focus. So it just like has some like info about it, which is really cool. But I just think it's absolutely beautiful. My character primarily plays lute and flute, so that was super, super thoughtful. All right, next in pins, a Kickstarter that I supported finally came in. These pins are quite large. This is a Hamilton set. So we have Love Doesn't Discriminate. And when we have History Has Its Eyes on You. And then we have I'll Write My Way Out. What a cool set. I love those. And then I'm just realizing I skipped over a big set of Harry Potter pins. So these came as a set. It came with this really cool, like, I don't know even what you call this type of thing, but like this like shifting coolness. Is it like holographic? Is that what you call that? And this cool Bank of Gringotts sticker. It's very shiny. So this is the Gringotts pin series by Poppins Collectibles. And this is a pin designer that is traditionally difficult to purchase from because their pins sell out really fast. So I just went ahead and like blindly bought the whole box. So a couple of these are going to go into my trader pile, but most of these I'm just going to put straight onto my board because they're amazing. So we have the Bank of Gringotts key. And they all came in these adorable little bags. We have this beautiful pearlescent package. It says top secret, the head goblin in charge of goblins, Gringotts Bank, Diagon Alley. This is a absolute for sure keeper. That might be my favorite one in the whole box. Then we've got this really cool pin that has the same pearlescent effect, but it also has the like holographic thing that the postcard had. Breaking in Gringotts, Gringotts security breached. Very cool. Then I love this one. We have this beautiful Gringotts front, and inside we have the bank, and it sort of magnets shut. Next, we have this very cool pin. So it is a goblin bank teller, and it lights up. It's got like a button in the back to light it up. How cool is that? Then we've got a cart that just like gives me all the feels for the Gringotts ride in the parks. Oh, so cool. And last, but certainly not least, based on the weight, is this vault pin. It's very thick. Thick enough, woo, fell out. actually store something inside of it. So it came with a little wrapped package, and I saw on their Instagram, this is actually like a little red stone, but I'm not gonna open it because it's too cute the way it is. So that is all the pins that I have acquired in the last few weeks. I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot. A bunch of things that just it all happened in one time. They all came together. All right, that was it for pins. Let me talk about plans real quick before my camera dies and before I need to go eat dinner. Okay, so I already talked about starting the ink circles piece. I also need to FFO my StitchCon Small. And I mentioned going home to see my parents. I'm gonna be home for 10 days, which is very exciting. I'm gonna work from their house while during the work week that I'm there, but I'm home for 2 weekends, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna have to plan what to bring home. I'm gonna have probably a bunch of stitching time at home. Like, we're just gonna be hanging out at home because it's still a global pandemic, and even though we're vaccinated, we're still gonna be keeping safe, and so we're gonna be doing a lot of hanging out at home. So I'm gonna bring a bunch of stitching with me. I also have a friend from home who has also started stitching, and I've never stitched with her, and so I would love to try and see her and stitch with her. So I have to bring some projects that like I think she would find cool and want to see. And I also am hoping to go to a cross-stitch shop that's not too far from where my parents' house is. I've never been there because I didn't become a stitcher until I had moved away. But I am very excited to go, and I'm hoping maybe my friend will go with me, and maybe my mom too. I don't know, we'll see. And I also, in preparation for my trip, need to FFO some things that I've made as gifts for my parents that have just been sitting in my finished pile. So my parents are coming to visit me in June as well. So I'm thinking, I think I have 2 things each for them. So I'll finish one thing for this trip, and then I'll give them something when they come to visit me in June. And finally, I talked last video about my May plans, but just a refresher, I'm not really doing a traditional mania, and I also am trying to get on the bandwagon of not using that term anymore. But my May plans are going to be to stitch on what I started last May and have not finished yet. So the remaining ones for those are Raven's Reply, Savor Every Stitch, Carrot Forest, and the Woodland Sow. My focus are going to be on finishing Raven's Reply and going across the top row of animals on the Woodland Sow. And any other time I have left available, I'll work on the other 2. So I probably won't exclusively work on those projects from May of last year. I'm also going to work on my regular goals like modern folk embroidery and covers and piano and all those things. But yeah, that's the plan. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful start to your May. Bye.